Hello everyone, this is Chess Clinic, and today I'm going to show you the fried liver attack. The fried liver attack is one of my favorite attacks, although you sacrifice a piece and it's a gambit, and most likely you should lose, but you have a lot of time and position. And I'm going to show you, you start off e4, e5. So you move the knight to f3 and you're attacking this pawn. And your opponent, he moved the knight to c6, protecting the pawn. So here's what Bobby Fischer did a lot. He always moved the bishop to c4 to attack the f7 pawn. And this pawn is the weakest pawn on the board. I explained it earlier in some of my games. And you can do numerous things to protect. But to get into the fried liver, they go to f6. Now you have your chance to come over here to g5 to put a double attack on the f7 pawn. Look for a while. Now, if you don't do anything about it, black have to address the double attack on this pawn because kings cannot move into check. So you have a choice. You have a choice. If it was white to play, you would have the choice what to take that with. And so what black does, this makes the fried liver. He clogs up the bishop. The pawn takes. Knight takes. And here's the sacrifice. The knight. Now the knight you have to address that immediately because the knight is threatening the queen and the rook. But it's right there to take. It's in prize. It's in prize of the king. So the king takes. Just like that. Immediately the queen moves to f3 and check. And it's a fork. It's attacking both pieces at the same time. If the king moves here, it's checkmate in 2. Let me show you. You can do it with either piece. You can come here for the check. Queen is forced to take, or you can move here, and it's still checkmate. Or you can take with the queen, take back, come here to interpose, block, and then it's checkmate. So that would be a silly move. He just took this. Now he's in check. So the count is black has a knight and a pawn. That's black. And white has 2 pawns. So actually it gave up a knight to make sure the king can't castle and force the king into the top of the board. Now, if I had opponents to do this when I seen the fried liver coming, I had opponents that try to immediately, since it's in bad shape, to trade the queen. Now, this is what I figured out myself. Other players might do it too. But I was saying, well, wow, that's not the fried liver, which I've learned. And I've studied the fried liver. I won a few tournaments. I won a game in a few tournaments playing the fried liver. But it's a very dangerous game. Actually, I don't play it anymore because you can win because you're giving up so much material. And if black can last, they can go to the end game and win the game by having more material. So if you go there to try to trade queens, remember you're already down a knight against a pawn. So what you do is you just simply take back and call check. Now you can interpose right here with the other queen, and this queen is back, and then you seem pretty solid, but you got your knight back. Plus, you already had a pawn, so you're a pawn up. So what I would like to do, I would like to double some pawn structures and gain tempo. All black wants to do is trade queens because the king has gotten out the comfort zone of castling. And black is not developed at all. So if you trade queens, black has a good game. So, or it's pretty even. So instead of trading bishop for bishop, that's what players have a problem doing when they first learn how to play. They just want to take. If it's out there to take, take. Sometimes you don't have to take. And sometimes you can take another piece. Like this here. I take the knight. Take back. It's a pretty even game up until this point where you use isolated pawns. This is called a pawn island. It's like an island all by itself. It doesn't have another pawn to protect it. Now these pawns are potential pawn chains. It can be a pawn chain. So the last pawn is the only vulnerable pawn. And they call that a backward pawn. But these two pawns right here are pretty powerful. And that's called a pawn chain. That's impossible when you have an isolated pawn. And this is isolated. I have no isolated pawns. Black has one pawn island, double pawn structure, and that includes two pawn islands and a pawn island right there. So you have one pawn island, two pawn islands, three pawn islands, four pawn islands. So if you go to the end game where you're pretty even, where you trade down to where it's just maybe a minor piece or a little major piece and a king left, the pawn islands are very vulnerable. Sometimes one opponent that I had, he thought that he can just take the once I take here, he thought he can just take the queen and then take this later. But this is imprised by this, but it can go back and take the queen back. And it lost the whole piece. It lost the whole knight. So that's pretty strong right there. So I advise black not to do that. Black is playing a losing game if it interposes with the queen. So the best thing to interpose with when you're in check like that is, let's see, is that the check? Okay. You take the pawn, pawn's in check. Well, we'll start over again so you can see. Now this is called a fried liver. And remember, I tell this to all my kids. I teach school. Wait till you see the move. Now, opening games is memorizing. Mid games is principles and talent. You're on your own. And the end game is knowing and playing the principles and talent. But opening games, it's a lot of openings you can forget. So here's the fried liver. I'm going to go through it again. Attacking the pawn. Protecting the pawn. Attacking this weak pawn here on the f7 square. Knight comes out to attack this pawn, and you go and you double attack. Now you come out here to interpose. Pawn takes, knight takes. Now sacrifice. Here's the gambit. King takes back. Check. Have the double attack. King protects. Strong move. It gets out in the center of the board. It's not castled. You got a queen on active. It's very, very dangerous, but it's a strong move. So what you do is you have 1, 2 pieces protecting. You have 1, 2 pieces attacking. So the person who takes is going to lose the piece. When you have the same amount of pieces attacking and protecting, the aggressor loses. So you have to have more pieces. So now here's the third piece. Now you got 1, 2, 3 attackers, and you have 1, 2 defenders. So now black has to figure out what it's going to do. You have 2 good moves to make. Any other move shouldn't be good. You can move back here for the protection. I don't like it because it clogs up this here and you're moving back and it's so passive. Or you can come up here, threatening the check there. Now you have a fork. But you got to watch it because you got 3 attackers here. So you shouldn't leave, even though this can be kicked away. But you need time for that. And this can protect too. So this is the fried liver. It's a pretty much even game, even though black has a knight and white has 2 pawns. And it's pretty much an even game because white is the major aggressor. And this is called the fried liver. Chess Clinic. If your game is sick, make it well.